the Everglades, from the Southwest up to Maine. Even though he's seldom seen, everybody knows his name. Through the forests and the backwoods, folks are looking night and day, hoping for a chance to see old Bigfoot USA. Well, he's big, bad, and hairy, hangs out in the woods. No doubt he'd be scary in any neighborhood. He's the best there is at staying hid, but we're gonna find him anyway. Maybe then we can document old Bigfoot USA. He leaves tracks, scat, man, if that ain't evidence, how about hair? Banging on trees and midnight screams don't sound like no bear. Got an appetite, keeps him up all night, so he likes to chill all day. But he'll be around when the sun goes down. He's Bigfoot USA. Ain't no man ever been that fast. No man will ever be that strong. Ain't no way you're gonna whip his, so you might as well get along. He's got more names than anyone in any record book, they say. Right or wrong, they all belong to old Bigfoot USA. They call him Bigfoot, wild man, Sasquatch, stick man, cattle critter, woolly booger, mossy man, and flint man. Brush ape, skunk ape, night ape, swamp ape, grass man, wood man, gray man, and hairy man. Dog man, otter man, lizard man, raggedy man, wendigo, sietco, sono club, bush man. Wood devil, mountain devil, goat man, stone man, forest devil, big man, timber giant, brush man, ice giant, devil, monkey, boogie man, and Oma. Cave monster, yellow top, skookum, and nook nook. Swamp monster, night screamer, evil seeker, catamount, Fort Worth monster, Minnesota Iceland. Stone coat, missing link, ape man, jar man, big figure, stone giant, Missouri monster, elk monster, yay ho, Honey Island swamp monster, no head, no neck, tall man, boggy mountain. Night people, stick, Indian, hairy, savage, owl woman, gamekeeper, splinter cat, bad smelling tree, hill monkey man, beast, hairy monster, snake man.
Welcome to Bigfoot and Paranormal Encounters podcast. From ghosts, UFOs, Dogman, medical miracles, and other strange encounters of the unknown. Every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. live, Facebook and YouTube. Here's the elusive big guy himself, your host, Dave Weiger.
My voice isn't working. Can you hear me?
Okay, Mike, can you hear me? Yes or no? Put your thumb up if you can hear me. Okay, it's on your end. But let me check one thing here. Uh, can you hear me? Okay, let's see. Check, 1, 2. Okay. If you can hear me, Mike, it's on your end. Okay, let's see something here.
A tourist claims to have captured video evidence of Bigfoot in North Carolina, but his small but fearless pet dog scared the beast away. WBTV reported that Eric Walters of Boone was visiting the Asheville area Thursday morning when he claims to have spotted Sasquatch in Henderson County. Walters said he was walking his Yorkshire Terrier named Zippy when he stumbled upon the mythical creature. He said he originally thought it was a bear, so he started filming with his phone.
Okay, let's go back to... Okay. All right, Mike, can you hear me now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
Right, good. All right.
That's good. I'm glad we got it figured out, but that's okay. Things like that happen, and we got it fixed. Take your camera and just put your camera up just a little bit more. Your head's cut off.
My head is cut off?
Yeah. Okay, try that. All I see is from your nose up now. Oh, you're still cut off.
Do I need to put it further back?
Well, I'm thinking it's because are you down low?
Well, yeah, but so's the camera.
Okay. All right. Just barely tilted a little bit. I would say back.
Up or down?
Back. Whoa. Okay, that's good. I got you in there. So let's go ahead and man, I tell you, I hate when these things happen, but you have to deal with it. When I first tried to come on, they said that the server was at full capacity and things weren't working, and try in a few minutes or call customer support. I wasn't going through all that, but
all right.
So, let me make this quick announcement real quick again, because I'm not sure if it went out the first time. Let's see, what did I do with it? Okay. All right. Folks, the show will start this coming Saturday. I'm going to change over to mornings from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Wednesday seems to be an issue with a lot of guests and, having to get up for work the next day and stuff like that. So we'll make it a Saturday morning. We'll have coffee and we'll talk UFOs, Bigfoot, and all that good stuff. Okay. So let me start by saying our guest tonight is Mike Shongo. Mike is a paranormal investigator and Bigfoot researcher. Enjoys UFO and researches other cryptid creatures as well. He enjoys metal detecting, flying drones, and collecting paranormal collectibles. Mike was a member of the Maryland Paranormal Research Team for a lot of years, and then went on to create his own group after MPRT closed down. So, everybody, let's welcome Mike. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Dave. How you doing?
Good. How's the wife?
Wife is great. Shoulder's healed up.
I'm sorry, that her what?
Her shoulder is healed up.
Okay, it's her birthday, right?
Today's the 18th.
That'll be tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay. Tell her I said happy birthday from Dave and Shar.
So she'll be 16.
16? She's got one on me.
Yeah.
I'm 15, so I wish.
Um,
Mike, let's start off by asking you what inspired you to get involved in the paranormal.
well, back in the 70s when I was a teenager, they didn't call it paranormal. They call it supernatural.
Uh-huh.
And even back then, I was interested in it. I read Chariots of the Gods, from Harold Sherman, and I also read Edgar Cayce. So I was basically interested then. But in around 2015, I was doing home remodeling and I got bit by something inside of somebody's apartment that I can't explain.
Okay, and what do you think it was?
What do I think it was? I think it was otherworldly.
Okay, I'm gonna put up the photos that you sent me. Let's start with this one. Wow, that's like 1, 2, 3. Some in the middle, 4, 5 bite marks. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were doing home remodeling. I'm not going to say what company I was working at because he's still in business. But I felt ill before I even got there, and I called him and said I didn't feel like well, I had to leave. And he said, "No, we put it off once already. The ladies will get furious if we don't do it again." So all the time I was in there, nauseous with carrying tools in tool bags, carrying out cabinets which tore down. They were nailed in, but I did not get any marks on my pants at all. And if
Okay.
you've ever done any cabinets, you know that they don't put screws and nails in that configuration. So something got me while I was in there. I left at 1 o'clock anyway because I felt nauseous.
Right. Okay. Did you sense any strange things going on where you were working?
Well, it's kind of hard to explain because I wasn't even thinking of it in those terms. I just felt
Right.
very uncomfortable and nauseous.
Okay. So later on, after this happened, did you find out any more information about the location, if it was haunted or experiencing paranormal problems?
Well, no, and I couldn't go back because of obvious reasons. I just didn't feel comfortable going back there. What it
Hmm.
was is an old apartment building in Columbia that had turned in Columbia, Maryland, that had turned condo. And it's not like we had a lobby to go into. There's just an open doorway. You go up the stairs, you make a turn, go up the stairs, make a turn. It's on the second floor.
Right. Okay. Um, Gosh, I'm kind of stuck on this one. So that how many times did you go back to that location?
Once, just that one
Once,
time.
just that one time. Okay.
No, I did go back the next day, but I didn't feel anything.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next.
Didn't
If
have to go back. It was either go back or get fired, and I didn't want to get fired.
okay, how long did you feel the way you felt after noticing the bite marks on you?
Maybe an hour. I
Maybe
mean,
an
an
hour.
hour after leaving. By the time I got home, I felt fine. I checked the pants. There was no marks on the pants, no tears, no nothing.
Wow, I'm familiar with a lot of bites. While we know a spider bite is just a single spot, which
And
can turn into a terrible mess and open up and get ugly. But
Yeah.
I
And
I've never. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
bed bugs are generally like 3 in a row and they're straight.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm puzzled. I can't think of anything that could have been other than paranormal related. So, all right. Share with us some of your experiences in the paranormal. Uh,
Well, I remember we were in Fells Point. We were doing a restaurant slash bar.
mhm.
Fells Point is inner city area in Baltimore near downtown. And we were doing the restaurant and I was upstairs and my wife actually got more there than I did. She was downstairs in the basement. She felt like she had something hug her and hold her while I was sending the camera down the line to the camera. I got a tug on the camera, and they told me that something down there pulled it out of the girl's hand that was down there.
Right. I remember that. Yeah.
But
Um,
me personally, honestly, the besides that, the most experience I've had was everybody's heard of Blair Witch Project,
mhm.
right?
Right.
And you saw the video and you saw the stores and you saw all the interviews they did. But actually, if you haven't been to Burkittsville, you know there's only one store, not a food store. It is actually an antique dry goods store.
Mhm.
And we got in good with the gentleman that owned the place, and he's very into the Burkittsville area. Before we even start, none of what you hear about Burkittsville, Blair Witch Project never happened. It did not exist.
Right.
But we had permission to do that building. We had the camera and the DVR downstairs on the first floor in the kitchen area. While we had two teams upstairs, we invited another team to come in from another group. So I had a Sony camcorder up there, which has audio recording and the infrared. So we had it up there, and there was two teams, 4 girls total up there, no guys. All the guys were on the first floor, and they were asking you know, if they're talking to somebody and said, I smell food. Smells like Thanksgiving. Can we have some? And you had a very male voice, very clear to say, no.
Why not? Yeah.
So
Really.
I mentioned this because on the second floor, same night, if you ever go to Burkittsville and through the Burkittsville Road and the 15, it is the main drag down there. It's no cars. It's basically there's no cars. There's a dozen houses along the road, maybe 2 dozen on one side and the cemetery on the other. So we were on the second floor. It was me, Happy, my wife, our medium, um, and the group we invited their medium, and they were back and forth doing it. Now I'm not going to say I don't believe in mediumship because I do, but it sounded like the two of them were just battling one another to see who could get the most attention. So our medium's short girl, she's even shorter than me, and I'm 5'3". So she's on the floor and she's going into a trance, like something got her and held on to her. And I didn't pay a lot of attention. By
Mhm.
the time I did, I went to break it up. I felt something hard and heavy hit the back of my head, and it was hard, and I felt it, and it caused me to grab her, and she got released from whatever was happening. But I felt that slap for a good half an hour to an hour later.
Hmm. Did you notice your picture came back up? That wasn't me.
No, I saw it,
Yeah.
but I thought,
No, I think. Oh God, I hope not. I hope Restream isn't going to be a pain in the butt the rest of the broadcast. But yeah, that picture did come back up on its own. That's weird. But and my screen went black too, so I had to quickly pull it back up. Go ahead. Didn't mean to cut you off.
no, that's okay. I mean, I got slapped in the head there. I mean, I've been slapped. Obviously, I've been bitten. I've been pushed. I've been pulled. I've been scratched. But the two of the main things, I mean, when I was at Burkittsville and other places, and we ask for something to happen, and it happens, you just okay, you shrug it off basically, but you go and explore it. If you say, if you hear us, give us a sign. You can knock on the wall a couple of times or make something move in the other room, and it moves. We don't do like they do on television, and that POs me to no end. On TV, they hear something moves in the other room, something move in the other room, and they start asking one another, "Did you hear that? Oh, did you hear that? No, get up and check it out." I
That's
got
right.
up, so I got up and I go in and I would check it out, and most of the time it was nothing. But
I laugh when they say, "Can you do that again?"
yeah,
Instead of getting up, like you said. You know,
yeah, like they're in a circus and they're performing animals there for them.
right? If it's there, get up and find out something. Not sit there and say, "Can you do that again?" If it did it the first time, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, if you do it enough times, even within 6 months or a year, and you start to see things and you start to feel things and you know what's going on and you ask something and something happens, you
Right.
don't just stop and start whispering. Did you hear that? Because the worst thing you do in an investigation is to whisper. You
Right.
say it
Right.
loud so people can understand your voice as opposed to anything else.
Right. Well, you know how I was. I always like if I was in a room and somebody did that. Like one of our members used to sniffle a lot, and I would have to tag her during an EVP session, especially down at Point Lookout. Um, you did that investigation, correct?
I've done that, and the last time I was down there, and I didn't stop doing it because I was scared or anything.
Hmm.
We were all together. I forget who was up there. It was on the second floor in one of the bedrooms. We assumed it was a child's bedroom. I believe Chris was there, Tracy was there, Peppy was there. I don't know if you were there though in that particular room.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But we were doing this, and I felt it's really. I say I don't consider myself a medium. I just a little leery of the words, the term medium, the condemnation it gives. But I seem to be a bit empathic. And
Okay.
when I was in this room, I felt like I was suddenly a small child that was defenseless and was being molested. And at the
Okay.
same time, I felt like I had strength and I was attacking a child. So I was sort of felt like I was getting both sides of the ball at the exact same time, and it made me nauseous. That's the only time I've ever ran out of an investigation. I had to go outside.
Okay. Um, what about Fort Howard? What did you think of that?
Oh, that was great. I mean, we got some really good video evidence up there. Remember when I think it was you on the third floor, you and two other people? Was it you, you two, you three, or three other people?
Oh, 1 second. Okay, there we go. Mm,
Uh,
did it again.
so anyway,
Hmm.
three people came down. The elevators weren't working because there's no electricity in that side of the building. And they come down and said that what the third member that was behind the other two walked into an aluminum chair. Even aluminum, it wasn't heavy. I mean, it wasn't like it was still heavy. So I'm excited. I just got a brand new camera. It's Sony night shot, so it's night vision camera, and I'm trying to get things straightened out. So we run up the stairs as fast as we could. We're going along the third floor, and my then fiance, my girlfriend, and Jose was in front of us, in front of me, and I'm fiddling with the camera, and the next thing I know, I bump into something. Turns out to be a chair, an aluminum chair that those two did not walk around. I stopped them. Said, "Hey, did you put this here?" And they turned around. No, we didn't put that there. So I ran into the same chair that another group ran into. And when we put it back, we had it facing in the doorway into the room facing outside, which is the same thing another team said they had it. So I set down the camera. I put it down, just sitting on a little table about 3 feet up, maybe 24 inches. And I set it there and walked through the end of the hallway towards a huge room, which would have been a um, recreation room of some kind. So we're doing our thing. We're asking for questions and coming back, and the camera's on its side. So I picked it up and I'm looking at the video. And if you look at the video, the last thing you saw was us walking away, but the table was shaking. It was because the camera was shaking. And I realized that after I looked at it, I actually had to turn the camera on, and it's not a button, it's a hard set. It's a
Right.
button or you have to switch back and forth. It was switched off and turned on its side.
Okay. I also remember your camera shaking and then being turned off, but
That was
not
it.
by. Oh, okay, yeah,
That was
yeah,
it.
I
Nobody touched.
remember that. Yeah,
But
right.
and we did get so later I got another camera, I got a high 8 because that was a mini 8. So I put that in the room facing toward the hallway with that camera with the same camera sitting where I had it, trying to get something to move that camera or witness
Hmm.
to move that camera.
Right.
And what we did actually get was a pulsating orb. It came out what looked like it was out of the light switch, but at least it was out of that area from the left. And about 24 inches from there is the wall. So it's sort of like vibrating like this, pulsating. And it was going across and it goes up the ceiling, comes around, goes down, and goes through the floor.
I'll tell you that place was awesome. I had it for about a year,
Yeah.
access, and
And that,
I remember you climbing up into the what do you call it, attic?
yeah, that was
The
cool. Me and two other people actually went up there, and while we're walking up there, you could hear something on each side running back and forth, like it could have been a cat or a possum or a raccoon,
right.
except it's 5 stories up.
Yeah, it
And there
wasn't
was
an
no,
attic. What would you consider it to be?
I would have to call it an attic because it was at the top of the building. It was
Yeah,
the last
but it was
floor.
huge though. I never went up there. I stayed
It was
on the
huge.
ground.
Well, the only way we could get up there was through that access point. We had to climb up a steel ladder.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff. Yeah. Forgive me, Tim. Tim Manville had some good footage and audio. Him and Barry were walking down the steps and captured audio because he had audio running continuously. And they were heading to the basement to the recreation room. And we had, I remember an experience in there where we were, I'm not sure if you were there or in another part of the building, but we were sitting around a table and the temperature dropped.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a
tremendously.
retirement, that was a retirement home in a different building.
Right. And
Yeah,
it just
and it
dropped.
went
Dropped.
from 50 to 42 or 40. Yeah, it was low. Yeah,
Yeah.
it went down 20 degrees, whatever it was. I can't remember.
Right. We could see our breath.
Stay our breath. I think it ended up at 34 degrees and originally 44 or 45. So it went down
Yes.
about 10.
Right.
That was cold.
Yes, it was. All right. Let me I'm sorry. The hard drive doesn't work as good as it used to. I'm getting old and all right, besides ghosts, what would be your second best interest? And I don't know why my screen keeps going black, but it did. Yeah, what would be your best interest in the paranormal?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a Bigfoot sighting, or think you may
Not,
have?
not a sighting per se, but I do believe I had experienced its presence when I was inside the camper up in West Virginia. Because
Oh yes, I remember that. You took me up there. Yeah.
took you up there. And I had a friend. I still have a friend. He was my employer, and he
Uh-huh.
liked people going up there that he knew, so that other people would see that there's a presence up there, and they wouldn't go up there and just mess around. Nothing. There was nothing to steal, but he still
Right.
didn't want anybody up there sneaking around.
Right. I
So,
understand.
so when I first started going up there, there was a. It's imagine the huge power lines, the supply lines that go through the country, and they're over top of hills, and you have sit on top of a hill,
Hmm.
and then you go have a valley, and it come up, and it'd be another one on top of the
Right.
hill. His property is right. His property is right there on top of one of those hills, and he had a mobile home sitting on it, and it was facing diagonally, so you could see get the whole experience of the hill, left and right.
Uh-huh.
And I never seen an animal up there. Never seen a mouse, a squirrel, a chipmunk, a bird, or a deer. No, I've never seen any animals up there. And I went up there for like 9 or 10 years. And in the back of the house or the property, he has they call it a tree house, but it's just a piece of wood up against a tree with petals, growing underneath of it. I mean, poles holding it up. So it's
Mhm.
just like a tree stand, but they call it a tree house.
Right.
And underneath of it looked like there was bedding. It looked like it was always flat and always laid down.
Hmm.
Like I said, I've never seen any deer, so I don't imagine what was actually there. But I've never seen or heard any animals there. So one day, about that time, it was the mid 2000s, maybe a little earlier. Some good old boys had just bought some property just the other side of the ridge. So his property is here, and there's a ridge right here, and the road comes up here. And they got another property on the other side. So if
Okay.
you were on his property, you could look over and see to theirs, but there's a bunch of trees. So they actually brought in one weekend while I was there a trailer almost identical to the one that my boss had. It's probably 50 feet long. It was tall, long.
Right.
So they had a big cat coming through, big Caterpillar bulldozer, and they had
Hmm.
to cut down some trees to fill in some gaps in the corners so they could bring the thing around. Anyway, to make a long story short, they got it up there. Later that night, it was about dusk, and I was up there. They had already gone. They left, and I was up there inside the trailer. And next thing I know, I hear the most god awful howl you ever heard, and it was twice. It was like, oh, oh,
Hey, Mike,
something.
let me stop you right there for a second because I want to share something with you. If I have, let's see if it's in the. Oh wow, really? Ah, okay, let's see if it's in the video part of. No, no, no. I must. I must have taken it down. Anyway, it's called the. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but um, what is it? The Ohio Howl.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Okay, yeah. Is that what you think uh you would
I
compare it
think
to?
it was something close, yeah. But what I heard sounded like it was if it was saying a word, it would have been the same word,
Right.
but it said it twice, and it was loud, and it was angry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't skip past it. Uh, uh yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like I took it down. Not sure why, but let me just show you something here. I my wife's gonna kick my butt for showing you this, but you know, she uh, she captured a Bigfoot, but it was a juvenile. Ready?
All right.
So that's her Bigfoot that she treasures. She met that little
I
guy
thought
at
that
work
was your
one.
wedding picture.
Ah, come on,
Yeah.
be nice. I told my wife, I said, I'm not going to pick on him tonight with the short stuff. I'm going to leave that alone.
Well,
And
I'm
she,
can't prove that anyway. So.
right. Well, I can because you said it at the beginning how tall you were. So, but I'm going to leave it alone. Let me show you another one. What do you think of this photo? Do you think this is legit?
It's hard to say with it being blown up like that. I mean, it could be just about anything.
Right, that was captured. The guy that captured that has since passed on, but he captured that with his uh, camera, trail camera, because he has a lot of trail cameras on his property because he don't want people hunting on his property, and
Yeah.
they were, and he lived at another location, but he had his neighbor retrieve the cards and sent him video and photos and stuff, and that was on there. But since that photo, he has passed away, and let's see what else I got. Yeah, that's about it for that. So myself, God, it had to be in the early '80s. I have it all written down because, like I said, my hard drive's going bad. But I had an experience while working on a farm. Uh, Me and a friend stayed on a farm for 3 months, and this guy had a serious problem with Bigfoot and juveniles. And I mean, it got to the point where it almost caused him and his wife to split up because he was always grabbing a rifle, going out on the deck, and firing shots into the woods, into the air, and stuff like that. It just got to the point where me and my friend had to leave. Um, he was in the war, and he was one of them people that would wake up from dreams and flip out and stuff like that. But he showed his proof. He brought a photo album out and showed us pictures that he had captured with a camera, being out in the woods with his neighbor and stuff like that. And me and my friend would sit on the deck. He would smoke, and I would be sitting there reading the book, and we'd be getting bombed with what do they call them? Monkey balls and acorns and just random stuff being thrown up on the deck and bouncing off our shoulder, and we'd see the thickness of the trees shaking, and we could see something moving behind the thick brush and stuff like that, but we couldn't tell what it was, and we didn't come to a decision, to say, yeah, that's Bigfoot. My friend didn't believe in it. I did, because in the early '80s, that's how I got started, from watching sightings and unsolved mysteries, and the older shows. So no, I've never seen one, eye to eye contact, but I've had um, other experiences on that farm, and that's going to be in my book that's going to come out first of the year. I am writing a book, and that's definitely going to be published in that book. So um, here's a guy I captured. Yeah, that was down near you, buddy. That was in Heritage Park. That was a funny shot of me and a guy dressed up as the Incredible Hawk. Let's see what I got here before I. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let me throw this up there. Legend of Boggy Creek. That's your copy autographed, I believe, by the daughter.
Yes, she was
Yeah,
actually in the movie when she was very small.
right. I'm still waiting for her to get back to me to confirm that she will be a guest on the show. And when she does, I think I'm going to make it a 3-hour show, but I don't think she'll be on there the whole 3 hours. I'll just have
Yeah,
her on there for an hour, and then um,
yeah,
take it from there and show photos and small clips of video and stuff.
yeah. Well, I have that. The video quality is unreal. I mean, the colors are so rich and so clear, so crisp,
Hmm.
and the audio is clearer than I've ever remembered it being. And I saw that in the drive-in.
Hmm. Yeah, that was like one of the very first ones, correct?
I believe it was, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
in a documentary style.
Right, and then they started popping up everywhere.
Yeah, for those people that out there don't know, that was actually based on a true story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And they actually had some of the town folk playing themselves or somebody else in the town,
Hmm. Right.
but it's all real people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it. There's in my collect DVD collection, and if I couldn't get it on DVD, I have a VHS collection that I put
Well,
onto a DVD. And
the VHS copy, from what I understand, is the first and only original, what do you call it, a authorized edition. All the
right,
DVDs, all the DVDs copy before the one you showed was all counterfeit, all bootleg.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, on them, except for the one that you got right there that you showed, is the only one that's authorized by the studio and the individual that was part of.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember the original producer. I remember his first name, Charles something.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So um, here's a picture I want to show you. If you remember, you went to the Dr. Mudhouse with me, right?
Yeah, we went a couple times.
Okay, here's one I'm going to show you. I think what I was doing was I was doing an EVP, and I had asked the woman that was sitting on in the picture, sitting on the table. I had asked her if she could appear in my photo. You know, I would do that from time to time. I would do my EVP session that way. Could you show yourself? And this is what I got. I can't zoom in or nothing, but if you see right over top of the table, you'll see a mist that
Yeah.
basically covers the whole table in the shape of. You're going to get a laugh out of this. I'm going to call it a Hershey kiss. And,
Okay.
right. So the Dr. Mudhouse was very interesting. We had activity outside as well as inside.
Well, the only thing I got there was us at the top of the stairs taking pictures all over the place, just randomly taking pictures. And you always take 3 pictures at a time just to verify what may or may not be there. But I was
Right.
taking pictures going down the steps, and at the bottom of the steps is a landing. And at the bottom of the landing is 2 steps going right. At the bottom of the landing, I got a picture of what looked like a gold coin sitting on the landing. Not an orb, not a dust particle or anything like that, but it actually looked like a gold coin laying flat. And another picture wasn't there.
Right. And I think Margaret's group, what was it, Inspired Ghost Tracking, I think they were involved in a documentary, and I think they got a good photo at the bottom of those steps as well. Can't remember what it was, but I do remember that. And Mike, at any time, if you need I can't say the word on here, well, I don't want to. But if you need a break, got to go to the bathroom or want to get a drink or something like that, just let me know. Because I
I
do
think
have some. Huh?
I'm okay right now.
Okay. Because I do have some plugs to make, but I'm good right now.
I could, because I'm outside. You can't tell,
Okay.
but I'm outside and I got a bucket.
It's what is it there? It's 59 here.
Here it
Uh,
is. I'm outside and it is 59.
did you say bucket? Okay, we'll leave it alone.
Oh,
Oh my
here,
God, you know how bad I am. Don't. Nice. Yeah,
this
Mike, you
is the
know how
part.
bad I am, man.
That's the one with the footprint. This is the first edition.
Okay. You know what I should have asked you previously
This is the
to.
one I'm sending you as soon as I can.
Ah, thank you.
That and this. I have two of these.
Right.
You asked for it and I finally found it.
Okay. Excellent. I wish previously I would have asked you to have your casting uh, on hand, but that's okay. Because I'm going to have you on again. So
Yeah. I set it to the side. I can't remember where I put it, so I put it someplace where it would be absolutely safe, and it's safe enough I can't remember where it is.
yeah, well, let's just let's just touch bases on it. You have what is a cast from Bluff Creek.
That's what you told me when you gave it to me.
Yes, I got it from Eric Altman, and that's what I was told. And I confirmed it a second time because I had to ask him where mine was from. Mine, I think, was from Ohio.
Because yours
Uh,
was shorter. This one was more like a foot. It was probably 14 inches long. I just have to relocate it.
right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's something I just want to throw up there because I like to I like for people to see this and keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't shoot it. You
Well,
know,
unfortunately, no matter how clear a picture somebody gets or a video somebody gets, everybody's not going to be happy unless they have physical evidence, and that's going to have to be a body.
I agree
I mean,
with you,
there's a
but
hand. There's a right now. There's a semi-mummified hand going around that somebody said is Bigfoot hand.
okay,
It's recent and it has a bone.
right.
Have you seen it?
No, but I probably will because I research day and night. I'm always coming across
Yeah.
what
It's
I think is ridiculous and
yeah. Well,
sometimes shocking.
it's one of the few things I've seen on Facebook feeds that I can't just ignore. And usually I ignore them because I want to laugh, and it's not polite to laugh,
Right?
especially with people that say they have a family of them living in the back of the house and their property, and they come up and have dinner with them every once in a while. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I try not to touch bases on that because the problem when I created Maryland Bigfoot Research Team, the lady that would come on and show blurred photos. I'm sorry, and then I got an email from her family member that she was going to have to be committed to a hospital and undergo psychiatric treatment. Uh,
Is this is is that the same one you had me, Ron, and Robert go check out up near
I,
Frederick?
I think so.
Yeah, because she swears there's Bigfoot coming back and forth behind her house all the time, but her property probably goes 100, 150 feet back, and there's another house behind it. So if there's something back there, other people would have seen it.
Yeah,
And she
go
had
ahead.
us coming in to pretend like we were arborists to check out trees because her husband was thought she was crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Now,
think it was a daughter. It was a
yeah,
relative that sent me an email and said, "Please remove her from the group because she needs help."
she had
Yeah,
issues.
right. Yep.
That kind of remind me. Um, a lot of when you do ghost hunting, you have people that just want attention. The TV show, well, this happened when the TV shows were real popular just a few years ago, 2018, maybe 2017. With my group, me, my wife, and three other members went to check it out, and the family there swore that the girl was being demonically possessed
Okay.
periodically, and she would go into these little fits. When we went there, what we actually witnessed was a young girl with Tourette's.
I
But
was
they
there.
had to, you weren't, well, they had church members there with them? Okay. And they had
No,
church,
when I went with Cora and Jose.
yeah, this was somebody else then.
Yeah. Okay.
But the church members were there, and we told them it's Tourette's. There's nothing demonic here. There's nothing
Right.
paranormal. She needs a doctor.
Do you
About
remember?
two months,
Go ahead.
about a month later, we got a call saying, yeah, it was Tourette's and she's getting help.
Right. Now, do you remember? I think it was Harford Road area. The woman that was on paranormal.
Oh yeah, I love that one. That was my favorite one.
That was
It
I think it was called Smoking Shadows. But who was the
yeah,
group? It was Paranormal State.
paranormal state.
Yeah, they asked me to appear in that episode, and I declined. I told them no.
Yeah.
They asked me and Jose if we would uh, participate, in that episode, and I told them no because
Well,
I had to give her photos back to her, and I had to have them delivered and signed for because she threatened to sue me after I told her the truth and what was going on in that house. She was writing a book, and her boarder was doing all the crazy stuff like putting saw blades in the walls and saying this happened and that happened. He'd punch himself in the mouth and come to her with a bloody nose. Yeah,
remember, remember when we got a call and she said the monster, the demon, was tearing up her laundry room.
yeah,
tore out some wires, and we
Right.
went there because I've done home remodeling before, and she said that it tore out the copper pipes. Now I've done home remodeling, and I know what channel lock teeth look like on metal.
Right.
Somebody took a pair of channel locks out of a toolbox and tore the pipe out of the plumbing. You could see it was channel locks. And I'm not just saying a pair of pliers with channel lock brand channel locks, which
Right.
happened to be in their toolbox.
Right. So at the end of the episode, Chip Coffey came in and he more or less told them that this guy was in the war and he had issues with his head, and they referred him to a psychiatric
Yeah,
doctor.
because Chip Coffey talked to him.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was one of the that was interesting. Yeah,
it was.
Mike. Yeah, let me see what I have here.
I tell you, when
Go
I
ahead.
watched the episode, I thought Chip was one of those uh, glory hounds, whatever you want to call it,
Uh huh.
and insincere. But I met the man twice,
Hmm.
and he was one of the nicest guys, one of the most professional guys you would want to meet at a convention. Because
Excuse me.
I had went to go see him, want to talk to him, get his autograph, and he was like one of those kind of, oh look, I gotta go. I'll be right back. I really do have to go. Okay, I'll look for you later. And he disappeared. Maybe 45 minutes later, he came running up to us. Huh, I'm back. I'm sorry I had to leave. I had to go to the little boy's room. It was just to go running up to a person that you don't know just to say, I'm sorry I gave you the bum rush. But that wasn't what it was at all. And I gained respect for that man right there.
Let me tell you this one. This is you're going to get a kick out of this. I was having dinner with him at a restaurant in Gettysburg, and we were sitting at the table, and this woman walked up with her husband, and they walked over and they got beside Chip Coffey, and he said, "You're that guy from TV, Chip Coffey." Chip Coffey points at me and he goes, "No, he is." I was like, I put my head down. I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't believe he did that." So she goes, "Nah, the woman was like, nah, you are." He goes, "Okay, what can I do for you?" She goes, "Can I have your autograph?" He goes, "Really? I'm eating." She said, "Okay, I'll wait until you're done, then I'll come back over." He turned his head. He's like, "Yeah." And then there was another incident where I was in Alabama at a conference, and I was standing there with Keith Age, Bill Bean, and the guy that plays Jason in Friday the 13th, Kane Hodder. And they were picking on me. And Chip Coffey, he pulls out takes his scarf off, and he starts popping at my butt. He goes, "You leave him alone. He belongs to me." And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm getting out of here." So yeah, I had fun. I had fun with him, man.
Well,
Um, Go ahead.
we were at Gettysburg, same place at the Eisenhower Hotel during the
Uh huh.
convention,
Right.
and they were doing a panel in one of the conference rooms or auditoriums, whatever we call it. And Chip was there, and they were doing Q&A, and Chip Coffey was sitting next to Mike Ricksecker, and he had an alien up there. They used an alien on one of the shows. I forget which one it was, and he was calling the alien his Galian, which was hilarious. So Mike was sitting next to him, and I can't remember what Chip was saying. I got on video, but he touched Mike's leg, and he freaked out. It was just hilarious.
Well, Mike, you have some interesting hobbies, and I know one of them is flying drones. Let me ask you this: um, when you go out, I call it squatching. Do you take a drone with you and use it for uh, possibly getting an image or video of Bigfoot?
Well, no, no. The smaller ones I have can't go the distance I would like to go. The large ones I have will make far too much noise. It sounds like a beehive. So that even if it was like 50 or feet or 100 feet above it, it would hear
Uh,
it.
okay,
And I could get good video because they use GoPro,
right,
but I
right,
haven't done it yet. because, like I said, it is so loud, it would probably just freak it out.
Freak it
And
out, yeah,
or a
and make it
deer,
go.
anything that would hear a sound like that, think it would be bees, I would disappear too.
Right. Let me ask you this. Let me get this right. When it comes to getting photos of Bigfoot, there seems to be a lot of photos out there. Um, but when it comes to cams, uh, I noticed I'm seeing a lot of cases where there's an incident and the trail cam doesn't capture Bigfoot. I just watched one recently of a woman that has a horse farm. You can hear this thing walking on crushed rock, but you can't see Bigfoot itself. And then once the walking stops, you hear it scream.
Yeah.
Why do you think? Uh, Let me ask you this way: what is it that Bigfoot can do to avoid being caught on video?
Well, I believe, I haven't actually seen one, so I can only say if they exist. I
Mhm.
believe it, but I can't prove it. So if they're not stupid animals. They're not deers. They're not even chimpanzees.
Right.
They're more likely akin to human beings with the same basic intelligence.
Hmm.
And they can know when something is out of place. And I've heard people say they left food out for them all the time, and they leave gifts for them like rocks or something like that. It doesn't matter
Right.
that, and you get this interaction. But with trail camps, if you think about it, the wilderness is woods is black. There is no noise. I mean, lights at all. No way, shape, or form, unless occasional lightning bugs.
Okay.
Now these cameras have a little red infrared light to as a signal. So it something gets between the light. The light reflection. It sees it. It takes the picture. But the light in the woods to a deer or a bear or a Bigfoot would be so bright, it'd be like a spotlight, and they can see it. The light itself.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Like, just give me a second. Like
Hmm.
this. See that?
Okay.
Now
Yes.
this is an infrared light that I have on. The kind we use for ghost hunting. See?
Hmm.
See it back there?
Yeah.
So just one of those is so bright. If I put this in the camera, that's how I think it would be to them, and it'd be like a floodlight. So
Right. So
they avoid it and walk away.
right. It's like okay, that's there's something not right about that light. I'm gone.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's not yeah.
Mike, let's I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to
All right,
mute my mic and I'm going to put something up there and I'll be right back. I got to go use my bucket.
all right. I'm going to get some ice water.
Okay. All right. Be right back, everybody. All right, and we're back. Our guest will be right back. He went to go get his drink refreshed. So I'm going to throw something else up there. If anybody needs a good DJ, I have a friend in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland, Baltimore County, and very good DJ. He has everything: karaoke, photo booth, and some other stuff. So I'm gonna put that up there. And he also has a travel agency. So if you need to go on a trip, get away, a DJ for a wedding, he's a very good DJ. And that phone number is 410-622-0099. All right, here's something else paranormal. If you need shirts, banners, graphics, get in touch with Creative Minds, 724-541-0453 for all your needs. All right, here's a good book I just read. It's called West Virginia Paranormal Gateway. It is by Fred Saluga. Very interesting book. I'm not having completely, let me try again. Completely finished reading this book, but it's about a number of things: cryptid creatures, ghosts, UFOs, all that stuff. So it's a very good book. And it's by Fred Saluga. So, hey, check it out.
Mike's back.
Mike's back. There you go.
You gotta get Coke.
Hey, did you like the Coke chopper or whatever it was, drone I sent you that you can hand make?
I didn't see that. Oh, Peppy
Oh.
said thank you for the birthday card.
Yes, you're welcome. And happy birthday.
This guy still sends mail in the pay and sends cards in mail.
Who?
That's how old you are.
Mike, I got a question for you. I'm actually looking, when I look at your shirt, I'm seeing it backwards. How do I reverse?
I don't know. I wondered that myself on TikTok videos.
Well, you know what? I'm going to find out and I'll let you know. I can see it, but it's all backwards.
I'm looking at it backwards too, and I can't put it inside out, but at least you can see it's Bigfoot's.
Right. Nice. Here's something I want to share with you. I'll send it to you if you're interested. I found it recently. And supernatural creatures, beasts, and beings. There's one on here called Frederick County, Maryland. Skelly. Man, that print is so small I can't read it.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that picture before that posted.
Yeah.
But I've never heard of it.
Right. But it's got them all in there. It's got the Mothman and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's one you were talking about, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
This is the older one.
The older one. Okay.
Yeah, this one's not authorized. Basically, it's a bootleg.
Bootlegged. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, let me go over here and see. All right. This next question may sound like I've already asked you, but it's a little bit different. What paranormal case has your attention most of all? And I'm referring to like the entity, the Smurl case, the real the ones they made a movie out of. I'll say Amityville, but I'm not going to go into that. And let's see what we got here. Uh, Mike, let me go over here to.
Before we go done, I want to touch on ESP for a moment before we get done.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. On what?
Before we're done, before you
Mhm.
close out, step on ESP for a little bit.
Okay. Uh, yeah. So what case got your attention the most? Would you say it was Boggy Creek, or would you say it was the entity, the Smurl case? What?
Well, when I saw the entity, I just thought of it as just being a movie. I didn't know anything about it when it first come out. Big Legend of Bigfoot, I thought was real. I thought they just had real evidence. But the one that gets me most, honestly, was with a gentleman I met at Paracon, which was oh darn, Travis. Well,
Travis Walton. Okay.
met him, and the movie I saw was Fire in the Sky.
Yes, I watch that every couple years, and
Yeah,
I got to get back to Travis Walton. I'm going to have him as a guest on the show.
yeah, that would be good because with him and I talked for a good while, and he
Hmm.
told me that the original book that went out, the hardback,
Hmm.
some of it wasn't what he said was in it. The writer or ghostwriter or whatever made
Right,
stuff up,
right.
but he not yeah he did one later that was revised and correct, and I got an autographed copy of that. But it was nice talking to him.
Yeah,
That
so I had.
incident blew
Go
my
ahead.
mind.
I'm sorry. Hmm.
No, I'm just saying that incident blew my mind because I'm watching the video and I'm talking to him, and there's difference between what you see on TV and the person that you actually know that was in the TV show.
Hmm.
Differences, and some of it was just heightened, and some of it was just outright lie.
Right. I had lunch with Travis Walton in Gettysburg, and I didn't really want to throw a lot of questions at him, but I asked him a few, and he explained to me that a lot of what he told wasn't put the way it should have been written or produced in
Yeah,
the video. Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm going to have him as a guest on the show um, in the near future. But somebody says send it to me in a text. Let me explain something. Right now, um, I'm having a problem figuring out uh, the person's name because if you're a Facebook user, Facebook or I don't know what's going on, but when your question comes through, your name's not there with it, so we don't know who you are. And if you ask a question, put your name in there with the question. Uh, that has worked. There had been times where it was still blocked, but most of the times it worked, and that will help us in knowing who you are, and then we can answer your question. Thank you. All right, let's give me 1 second. I'm trying to figure something out here. Okay. All right. Okay. So your answer was Travis Walton, "Fire in the Sky." That's the
yeah.
one that yeah,
For me, that
yeah,
would be.
yeah. That's one of my all time favorites as well.
Yeah, not just because of the story and the graphics in the movie, but because I talked to the man, and you just talk to the man, and you know that he was telling the truth, that he believed what he was saying.
Right. Um, I know the answer to this next question, but the listeners uh, that are listening doesn't know the answer. Um, when it comes to the paranormal, what do you like the most uh, that you enjoy doing? Is it the audio? Is it the video? I know you're probably going to say all of it because I would say the same thing, but audio is my all-time favorite in the paranormal.
All right. Let me get something.
Hmm.
All right, sorry, I'm back.
That's fine. That's okay.
Okay, now to your question. It is Sony video camcorder. Because Sony video camcorders are infrared.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually an older one. This is mini mini 8, all right?
Okay. Right.
It's infrared. So you
Uh-huh.
can actually get video from the least bit of light.
Okay.
But my all-time favorite is this right here. Again, this is Sony. I think this is a high 8. Yeah, this is
Okay.
a high. When they first come out with these things, they put the infrared in it, and you could actually see through clothing with these things.
Wow.
Outside, it's a switch on here for night shot. I forget where it's going to keep putting on different ones. Here it is. On here, it's right there, on off. I can't show it because I haven't charged them.
You said through the clothes?
Yes.
Oh, Mike, if I do anything with you in the near future, please remind me that you have it with you. Okay.
No, seriously, if you're wearing black, you can look on YouTube and they'll show you how to do it. But the original version, I think it was 97, 96, which I have one.
Mm.
You don't even have to have, it doesn't have a filter at all. So it's just, and well, the video is great at night. I mean, as long as you have the red light, the IR light, have 9 or 12 extra lights, you can see the whole room, you see everything. But the audio in these things are amazing. They're the ones I used in Burkittsville when we got that conversation with the girls, and you heard that man saying no.
Mm-hmm.
This one caught it, and one of the girls had an audio recorder that caught the exact same conversation.
Wow.
And this camcorder was across the room, across the attic.
Awesome.
So that's mine, because you get
That's
video and audio.
wow. Mike, this next question I'm going to ask you. I'm going to apologize first for being
Wait,
the butthead that did it to you. But the trip upstate New York, when you went into the visitor center, we were somewhere. We were looking for something that we had found online and wanted to stop by before we got to the asylum and do our overnight investigation. Um,
that was Rolling Hills.
Rolling Hills, there you go. Thank you very much. You had got out of the car and walked towards the visitor center. It was me that told Chris and Andrew, "Let's go, let's go, let's leave him here," or make him think we left them, and
Yeah.
they drove off. So it was me that told them to do that. But you know me, you've always had a good, when working with me, you've always had a good one. I've always picked on you, but I love you, man. Love you like a brother. Um, okay, let me just I'm looking for something here.
Well, the other
Uh,
thing I used during an investigation, a paranormal investigation, and nobody that I know of ever used one, and we've had positive results from it, was the
okay. I'm sorry, the what?
guitar tuner, a
Guitar tune.
regular digital guitar tuner,
Okay.
because that is only supposed to operate with sound of some type. But when we used them, we used two different ones. One was analog and one's digital, and it got responses from questions from both of them. And technically,
Interesting.
shouldn't have been able to because there's only supposed to be voice activated or wire.
See, a lot of people don't experiment with things that, um, like when you have an idea that pops up in your head and you say, well, I'm going to try this and maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll give us some results. But most people just, no, I'm not, let's not do that. Let's move on to something else. But I've learned that, um, you remember the case where we did Fort Howard and we're walking down the hallway. I think you were there. and we hear a person talking.
Was that the third floor?
No, it was like the first floor. Russell had set up a recorder in a room.
Well,
It had preloaded questions on it, and then he had a second recorder recording if anything, you know, uh, gave an answer.
yeah.
Yeah. So, in the back of my mind, I think a lot from outside the box, like, with Bigfoot. I think of ways to communicate or, excuse me, things to do that most researchers don't do or wouldn't do. So that's how I am. I'm always thinking from outside the box, and uh, right now, I'm keeping a journal. When an idea pops up on my head, I throw it in a book, and I'll eventually get around to doing it and checking it out and see if it works.
Yeah, that's why I started using a guitar tuner because it has a little microphone in it for acoustic guitars.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have a cable in for electric guitars. Either way, this shouldn't have gotten any kind of signal because nobody else was talking after the question.
Okay. Let's check the just checking the chat room again. The few listeners that are in here, if you have a question, please include your first name in or your first and last name in with the question, and then Mike will answer your question, or I'll answer your question, whoever you're directing it to. So, Mike, Eastern State Penitentiary, you've been there, correct?
A couple times.
Okay, what was so interesting about Eastern State?
Well, I mean, experience-wise, or play?
Yeah, there were a lot of areas that we weren't allowed to be in, but of course, I talked the director into letting us go into a few of them, but not all of them. One of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to sit inside. Excuse me.
I think I know what you're going to say.
I wanted to sit inside Al Capone's cell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just do an EVP session for 15, 20 minutes, and then I would have been a happy kid with a kite, a brand new kite. Yeah. What was yours?
Well, I would have liked to basically do the same thing, but that area in Ghost Hunters, well, I think,
Mhm.
forget what floor it was, we went up there and it was open. We were allowed to get up in there, and we actually got some pretty weird stuff up there. Nothing, oh, nothing very affirmative, but we can actually approve, but we got some really odd personal experiences in that area.
Mhm.
I think that was Cell Block 7. Is that what it was? I can't remember now. It's been
May have
years.
been.
But I actually did take a camera down where the infirmary is, the hospital, what you want to call it. And I
Uh-huh.
took off, like 3 pictures like you usually do, click, click, click. And one of those pictures had a man inside of that room standing there.
Wow. Awesome. I'll share one with you. You'll get a good laugh out of this. I went into uh, one of the cells by myself, and I always preached to you and the rest of the members: never go in a room by yourself. Always have somebody with you so that they could confirm an experience, something audible. Um, you know. So I went into the cell and I sat down on the floor and I started doing an EVP session, and I got to the point where I said, "Is there somebody in here with me?" And I hear, "Yes." And I lifted my head up because I was looking down at the recorder and my K2. And stupid me, I went, "Who are you?" And he says, "Why do you need to know my name?" And I said, "Wait a minute." I turned my flashlight on, and there's a kid sitting there against the wall. And I'm like, I stopped the recorder, and I'm like, "Man, do you know how bad you scared the hell out of me?" He goes, "Nuh-uh, really?" I said, "What are you doing in here by yourself?" He said, "Probably the same thing you're doing." you know, and I'm like, "Come on, let's go out and talk." So we went out in the hallway, and I thanked him for scaring the shit out of me, and then he went on his way. But yeah, that was one of my memories of Eastern State Penitentiary. Yeah. Now the next one I want to talk about, and then after that we're going to talk about. You said ESP.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay. All right, Ramblewood.
Ramblewood.
Yeah, a lot of years at Ramblewood. Jose and I were the first two that went up there, and I think that was in 2007, and I didn't leave there until 2016 when I wrapped things up and said, "Okay, I've had enough. I'm gonna, drop the ball and let somebody else take over and be the host of Paranormal Investigations." What did you like about Ramblewood?
The all access. We could go through the entire building, basement to attic, without any
Yeah.
restriction. But I was there with it. It was, I think it was a Sunday morning. Everybody else was gone to get breakfast, and the only two people were there. It was me and Mike Bowser. Mike
Good
went
old
to get
Mike.
something out of his car, and I know he was in his car because I could see him before I went in. But I'm walking around the building itself, taking pictures outside, and up on the second floor, I took a picture. I took a picture of a man, and I know there was nobody else in it because Mike and I were the only ones there because everybody else went, to get breakfast.
Uh-huh.
So I go back in. I'm looking for this person on all the floors. There's nobody there. There was nobody in that building, but I saw somebody in the second floor window looking out
Wow.
in the back of the house.
I tell you, I lost a lot of data. I still have EVPs, but I lost a lot of photos and video that I did over the years. Folks, if you're a researcher, investigator, don't ever put something in storage. Anything can happen, and it did to me. Gone. Things get stolen from storage. There's small fires where the sprinklers will come on and soak and ruin your stuff. Uh, yeah, there's people that break into them. Even the people that work there that have to do the auctions will go in the room, come out, put a special lock on it so that you can't have access. And terrible. I lost years of work from Ramblewood. So
You could also have critters running around in there chewing up stuff.
exactly. Yeah, there's mice, there's bugs, and there's people that put stuff in storage that have dead bugs, and yeah, it can
Yeah.
be real bad. So,
Let
all right,
me
go
give me a
ahead.
second.
hmm Okay, while Mike went to retrieve something, I want to let everybody know that I'm going to start doing my broadcast on Saturday mornings from 10 to 12 noon. That's every Saturday morning from 10 to 12 noon. Now, if a guest is not available for a Saturday morning and needs to do one during the week, say a Tuesday or a Wednesday, I will make special arrangements for that guest to be on at that time. All right, we're waiting for Mike to hook up his camera that can see through clothes now. I've known Mike for a lot of years, and we've had a lot of good laughs together. bloopers and all that stuff. Working with the paranormal and I just never got to do any Bigfooting with him, any squatching and UFO gazing and stuff like that. But I will.
Yeah.
Ready, Mike?
Yeah, I think we made in '07.
What's that?
We made in '07, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just for the heck of it, this is an infrared camera I told you I have.
Mm-hmm.
So if I turn the light here, and see how bright that is?
Right.
And right there, you can see the light.
Okay.
That's actually red, a very small red light. But
Okay.
if you have that out in the middle of the dark, now
Uh-huh.
I can't see that. So,
Right. I can. I'm seeing white is what I'm
yeah,
seeing. But
you're seeing
you said it's red.
right. I'm seeing a little tiny red light you can barely see. But if you
Uh-huh.
have that out in the woods on a game trail, that's going to be like a spotlight.
Okay. Got you. All right. Let me just check the chat room. Again, if anybody's still here with us tonight, our guest is Mike Shongo, and I'll put his bio back up in a few minutes. But if you have a question, please put your first name or your full name in with your question, because I'm not able to see who you are because of a rule by Facebook. So, Mike, let's talk about ESP. What do you have?
Um, well, when I first started actually exploring it, get into it, was the mid '70s, and I read a few books. I read some Edgar Casey books,
Well,
and the
Mike,
man.
I'm sorry. Do me a favor. Explain what ESP means.
Oh well, the mainstream theory is extrasensory perception.
There you go.
What
Okay.
they really are is extended senses of what we already have. In
Hmm.
Harold Sherman's book, How to Make ESP Work for You, he explained it as not being extra sensory, but being extended sensory. So that with what is it sight? When you can see something from tele tele. I'm sorry, but you can not
Telepathic.
actually. Well, no, it's oh darn. Now the word is on the end of my tongue, but it's not coming out. But it's distance vision, basically. The government's
Okay.
supposed to have done for years, but it's not an extra sensory of seeing an extended of what you're
Right.
seeing. And when you hear voices, um, like people talking to your angels, it's not an extra sensory, it's an extended sensory of your hearing.
Uh-huh.
It's been a while since I read it, but I found that I myself have been able to find things without even thinking about it. We were I don't know if you remember, but we were at an investigation over here in Dundalk, and we're on the second floor in somebody's bedroom, and we're talking, and I get this feeling that there is something underneath this um, dresser underneath the leg. So I reached down and picked it out, and it was a butterfly pin. And they asked me, "Where did you find that at?" So it was underneath the leg right here. We've been looking for that for months. We couldn't find it. We didn't know where it was. We tore this room apart. But for whatever reason, I'm leaning behind, up against this, and I'm feeling something underneath of me. And I reached down and I pulled this thing out. And I've done the same thing with Peppy. She was looking for her keys before her and I actually got together. Couldn't find her keys. I told her, well, it's under a white sheet or white blanket in your hallway. The next day, she told me she found it underneath of a banner, a wall banner that she had
Okay.
thrown on top of it, didn't think about it. And last month, I was looking for a knife, a pocket knife, a buck knife that happened years ago. I'm looking on eBay for it for weeks I find it and want $65 for it. This past weekend I was in Pennsylvania with a friend. We were at a farm auction outside. And if you've ever been to one, they have hundreds, literally hundreds of mowers for sale and different things like pressure washers and whatnot, and trucks and tractors. So he happened to win this one tractor, lawnmower. So I'm helping him move it, and I look inside this net pocket that's on it, and I'll find the knife I was looking for just a month ago that I had when I was 17.
Wow.
And I looked on eBay for this just last month, and it pops up Saturday.
Hmm.
Whether it's extra or not, but
I'll share. Excuse me. I'll share with you something that I can't understand. It's about me. If somebody's talking about something they're going to do or would like to do, I'll just plain out look at them and say, no, it's a bad idea. No, don't do it. And they're like, why? And I'm like, I have this feeling, gut instinct. And when I get this feeling, I get it very strong. And I get it so strong that every time it happens, I'm always right. What would you say that is?
precognition.
And it's, I'm usually 95% right all the time. If I say no, it's no. If I say, yeah, I think you'll be all right, it turns out great. I don't know. I'm not a psychic or anything like that, but, yeah, that's something I noticed about me. I'm going to go back up to. I'm sorry. Did you still have more about that, or?
No.
Okay.
It was just weird that I was trying to find this thing, and I'm
Mhm.
looking on eBay about a month ago, up until maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I'm helping him push this tractor, and there it is.
Okay. Wow. All right, Mike. I'm shooting for late fall. I'm gonna be doing a project, and I'm looking for those who would be interested in being part of this documentary that I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna shoot for October, late October. And here's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about the Jersey Devil. It's going to be a 2 to 3 day camping trip and filming in the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. And I'm looking for certain individuals to make an appearance in this documentary, and you are one of them. I'd like for you to participate in this documentary if you can.
All right, well,
Go ahead.
we can talk about it. Yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that on the phone, and but I want to show to the listeners. Let's see, where do I have it at? Oh, good lord. Let's see. Okay. All right, that is Deborah Leeds. In 1735, she had her 13th baby. A short time after the baby was born, she put a curse on it, threw it in the basement, mistreated it, and just fed it whatever she wanted to feed it. And they say this thing formed into what is known as the Jersey Devil. And here's what it's supposed to look like. I know, as crazy as it sounds, there's so much history and documentation on this. And in October, this coming fall, I'm going to be doing a documentary. I'm not going to give the title or anything like that now. Uh, Eventually, I'll release the trailer, and you'll be able to see what it's going to be about a little, a little bit. That's the Jersey Devil. Then I'm just going to go into some graphics um, of what they say it looks like. Now, this next picture that I'm going to show was taken with a trail cam, whether it's real or not, faked, uh, photoshopped, or whatever. I think this is the only photo that somebody has ever captured underneath of
Yeah,
a deer stand chasing after a deer. And
that's been going around for quite a while now.
yeah, it has. So, um, just a couple pictures of the pine barrens in the daytime. Uh, at night, it gets much darker than that. The pine barrens goes on forever. It's thick. There's many, many acres. Uh, Let me just pull that back down. Now, they say that the Jersey Devil lives in a body of water which is called the Blue Hole. Um, I'm going to be doing, you know, not only a documentary, but an investigation of the Pine Barrens of the Jersey Devil. I will film on location at the where the house was. It's now just bricks and a foundation. The house is gone, but I'm going to be filming in that area. I'm going to be filming in the Blue Hole. I'm not going to get too close to that water because that's where they say it lives. Uh, since 1735, it's been seen over the years many a times. People have gone into the Pine Barrens to go hunting, fishing, camping, and never came out. But, you know, I'm not going to touch that. So,
Is it swampy there?
I wanted to put a picture of the Blue Hole in here, but when you say swampy, do you mean the road?
No, the area
The,
around the road, like Southern Maryland and DC was.
it could be. I guess it depends on how much rain they get.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be having a guest soon. He had became ill, and he lives in the Pine Barrens, not in the Pine Barrens, but near the Pine Barrens. And he's a music artist, and I'm going to be having him on. And I'm not going to say his name right now until I, get the information up there. Another thing I'm going to do is when I start placing ads about the show, they're going to be video as well as photo, and then the information about the guests and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. But yeah, Mike, if you can, I would love for you to be there, man. And I'm also gonna ask Tim Manville. I'm sure my good friend and co-founder of my Bigfoot group, John Bowman, and I've asked one of our guests that was on a few weeks ago, John Curley. He said he would participate as well. So let me see what this. Oh, that didn't look like your leg to me.
It was the. I only had a 1 megabyte or 1 meg camera at the time. So I only took pictures of kitchen and bath models. So
Right. I clicked on it because I thought it was one of the roads in the Pine Barrens. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'll show that one again. That's daytime. And like you said, over in the grassy areas, the farther you go back, the thicker it gets. And there's nobody living back there. But there's a town nearby where everybody lives. And I've already talked to a lot of people when they say they've been in there and they've never had any problems with people coming in and starting trouble or anything like that. So, yeah. I think it's all the photos I have for that right now. But yeah, this one here, like I said, I'm not sure if that's legit. I'm not claiming it to be. Uh, Anything could be photoshopped, but that's been, like Mike says, going around for a lot of years.
Well,
And
the
go ahead,
biggest
Mike.
the biggest problem I have with looking at that is the fourth leg is missing.
The
There would not
fourth.
be a tripod, whatever it is. If that's a tree stand, the fourth leg is missing, and they're thin.
Oops. Wrong one. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
See how thin those? And there's only three. A fourth one seems to be missing.
Right. Okay. And that's a deer feeder.
Okay, there still seems to be a fourth leg missing. Because if it
Okay.
was just three legs with a tripod, the back leg would be more toward the center than to the left.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it looks like the deer was underneath of the deer feeder, and gosh, I've seen a lot of these up in West Virginia, and I don't remember if they had a fourth leg or what it consisted of, but I never really paid that much attention to them.
Yeah. But the way
So
that's standing, if it was just a tripod standing like that, it would have fallen over because that third leg is not a support.
right, and and I'll for this documentary, I'll do yeah an interview with you. You don't have to be here, or I don't have to do it in the Pine Barrens. I can do it right from where you're talking to me now, and pre-record it and put it right into the documentary. So that's the good thing about this. Uh, God, I keep losing the word. Restream platform. I can do a number of things, but there's some things that I need to work on and get it right. So, yeah. So we're coming up. We just hit 9 o'clock. I want to give a few more minutes. Do you have time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Anything you want to touch bases on?
Oh, I did have something running through my head, but it escaped me.
You know what that is?
Old age.
Mike, I can get up and go to the kitchen to get a drink, and when I get in there, I forgot why I even went in there.
Yeah, but
And
did you ever
go ahead.
remember what it was coming back?
Coming back,
Coming back, did you remember exactly what it was you went in for?
Mike. Let me tell you this: I've gone in, made a cup of coffee, put my creamer in it, stared at it, come back in here, sat down, and went, "Where's my ah?" And I had to go
Yeah,
back out in the kitchen and get it. Yeah.
I have the worst story. A few months ago, well, it was last summer, it doesn't really matter. I decided to make a cheeseburger. So I got the patty out, I put it in I seasoned it, put it in the grill, on the skillet, and I took a piece of hamburger bun, took it in half, I put it inside of my toaster oven. I
Right.
put it in there, I put it in my toaster oven, I'm taking care of the meat. I turn it over, I go to get the lettuce, tomato, everything else out. So I the timer goes off for the toast, so I get it out. I put all the condiments on it. I go in the living room, I'm in the dining room to eat while I'm watching TV.
Hmm.
And I go in to put this plate inside the sink, and there's a piece of meat sitting inside of uh, in the skillet I had forgotten to put on the sandwich. Didn't even realize it while I was eating it.
Mm.
Now that is sad.
Oh, I'll tell you, and it's just not every now and then. I mean, I've had myself looked at because I was uh, scared there for a while. So I went to the doctor and I told him, and he said, "Well, things change as you get older, and if you got stress and stuff like that, things you're worrying about, it's going to affect you as far as in things that you do as well." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it seems like it's a pattern." So
Uh,
I don't
did
know.
you ever, did you ever go to do something or get something, and go in and forget what you were doing, and you turn around and you come back at a certain point, it hit you so hard that it was like you walked into that thought you had left behind,
No.
and you just turn around and do what you were getting, or do what you're going to do.
Right. I noticed another thing, and then I'll get back on track here. When I come up with an idea or something I want to get, I have to write it down right away, or I won't think of it again because it usually disappears and don't come back. What are you showing me, Mike?
Yeah, I'm just showing you that Don was in that action figure.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Action
nice.
figure. This is the one with the first print. This is the first generation.
Hmm. Cool. So, not only in the Pine Barrens is the Jersey Devil, is Bigfoot. A lot of reports of Bigfoot in the Pine Barrens. As far as wildlife, bears are not as great as they used to be. Bobcats and coyotes and stuff like that have dropped. Uh, Nobody knows why. I mean, they weren't killed off, but and we are going to be okay as far as protection. So you won't have to worry about that.
Well, shoot. Elaine's husband, Nick,
Hmm.
has all the bear defense stuff you would need.
Okay. Do you
He's
think he
got,
would be interested?
I know they would.
Okay, because this is going to be there's going to be a base. There's not going to be electric. The only power we're going to have is like power banks, maybe a generator, the power from our vehicles. Our vehicles will be right there beside your camping area, your tent.
Yeah.
Um,
I've
I
got other things. This right here is a Ryobi inverter. It's 150 watts. I'm using
okay,
it right now to charge up my phone.
right
One electric shot right there for light or whatever. I have all kind of camping gear. I have
now. Uh,
four tents,
Vortex. Okay.
4 tents, 3 old-time Coleman stoves,
Hmm.
anything. I mean, nobody, people wouldn't have to bring anything if I brought my shit.
There you go.
And
So,
well,
sorry. Go ahead.
Elaine and Nick are the same way. We have more camping equipment between us than any 6 people would need.
Right. Okay. Most of the equipment that I'm taking is going to be, video, audio, my boom mic, and stuff that I'm going to need for, filming the documentary. But we'll have plenty of power. Like I said, power banks, our vehicles, uh, a generator or two. We'll probably have several. What do they call them? Well, I call them four wheel. You know what I'm talking about. All terrain, is that what you call it?
TV,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll have four wheelers and stuff like that. No dirt bikes or anything like that. But like I said, we're going to have everything we need. Shouldn't have any issues. Shouldn't have any problems. We'll all get along. You know, we'll have, like I said, we'll be. I think it'll be blessed, and I think we'll have everything we need to do what we got to do. So, you and I will talk about the DVD as far as your rights to it. You and I will discuss that on the phone, and we'll go over the details for that. I mean, because this is something that I can't get a loan, or I mean, it's going to be a low budget, but it's going to be done nice because I'm going to have help from several uh, graphic designers and videographers that's willing to help me put it together and publish it myself. So we'll go over the details, and you'll know what your rights are to the DVD, and it's gonna be good. So let me see what I got here. I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 9:30 or close to 9:30 because I don't want to keep you from anything you have to do. But let's touch bases on UFOs. Any UFO sightings?
Okay, what about?
Have you had any?
Yes. Actually, the last one I had, I was with Elaine and her husband Nick. We were
Uh-huh.
doing some Bigfoot investigations, an overnight Bigfoot. Actually, same day that Peppy got pulled by the dog and broke her arm.
Hmm.
So we were sitting there at night, around the campfire,
Right.
and Elaine looks up and tells us there's a UFO. So all three of us up there looking, and it was high in the sky. It be at the height of a plane maybe or higher.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, it didn't go in a straight line like you would expect a satellite or a plane to do. It did
Okay.
something like this, and it just zoomed away. It just went at a 90 degrees, and it just kept going.
Wow.
Was not an airplane. It was distant, but it wasn't an airplane. It wasn't a satellite. Before that, several years ago, me and a guy I was working with was driving down 29, US 29, to go down to uh oh shoot, down toward Rockville.
Right.
And we both saw this thing come out, and he doesn't believe none of this crap. I mean, he's no way, shape, when he haven't talked about it. But we both saw this thing going to the left of us, maybe a mile away, come between one cloud and through and into another cloud. And it was almost upright. It wasn't round, and it wasn't a clear shape. I mean, it was clear, but it was like uh, kind of hard, like a building, and it just went straight along like this. It wasn't round. It didn't go through, but it was almost upright with I don't know, towers or whatever you want to call it. So it was not
What?
an airplane.
What? It wasn't a balloon from China, was it?
Oh, this was long before China
Okay.
was sending a ship.
Yeah, I got to throw that in there
Yeah,
every now and then, when I'm discussing that topic. But yeah,
yeah.
so a balloon from China. Yeah, okay.
Mm.
Um,
And we both
I,
saw that. Never believed that stuff before, but he believes, and he won't talk about it because the whatever we want to call it. But he admits he saw it with me. We both saw the thing together.
well, Mike, it's been so plentiful now.
Lately, yeah.
Reportings, yeah, lately of UFOs all over the place.
Well, the
And
U.S. The U.S. Navy actually was it the Navy or the Army actually released footage of them chasing one and admitted that it was a UFO.
yeah, and I sent you a photo recently of one that crashed that was on the back of a flatbed. There's no way that was phony.
I
I
I I, I don't know.
well, I don't think so. I mean, that would be too much work to produce something to be phony.
No. If the thing is, it was too obvious. If it was the Army or the Navy or any U.S. government agency, they would put it in a box somehow, and you wouldn't even know what
Or
shape it
covered
was.
it up. Yeah,
They would
yeah.
have covered it up. Yeah.
It's possible, but
It looked good. Don't get me wrong. It looked really good, but
and the woman that was screaming and crying, "Oh my god!" It's like, come on, that's what threw me
but
off a little bit about it. But
there have been a lot coming out that hundreds of people witnessed, and it just can't be swept under the rug.
okay,
From Arizona and Nevada all the way down to Mexico and Brazil,
right, yeah,
and other countries too.
right,
European countries. They're out there and they're being videotaped because there are more cameras than there ever were. Even phone cameras can pick these things up clear, and it's more than one camera. It's a half a dozen people across all parts of the cities that's catching them at different angles.
I'm not laughing at you, but I got to share this with you. You know how you get on the computer and the first thing you see is all the news stuff. Who's in the hospital? Who's dying? Joe Biden this, China that, Taiwan. Well, I noticed something. Oh my God, I just lost my thought. Good Lord, see what I mean? That's it. Just like as soon as I started talking, it just like left my mind. I don't know why. I don't know if it's from this Monday I get operated on for the right side of my sinus. I have a uh, chronic sinus infection frequently, and it affects my ears. It affects my thinking and all that stuff. And hopefully that's what it is. I get the operation this coming Monday, and then I'll come home the same day if everything goes all right, and hopefully that won't happen anymore. But that's what I'm talking about, Mike. When something crosses my mind, I usually have to scribble it down. I don't know, but God, I hope I'm all right. Um, Maybe it'll come back to me. Maybe it won't. But uh, until it does, let me ask you this: does the Merlin Bigfoot research team have anything coming up?
Well, me, Elaine, Nick, and Robert Gahan are trying to get to Green Ridge State Forest again to
Hmm.
do overnight or a couple nights.
Okay,
We just
interesting.
haven't scheduled it yet. And if anybody else wants to go, we're not we're not confining just the four of us.
Right.
And if they want to go between me, Elaine, and Nick, we have enough camping equipment not to worry about. All you would have to do is bring food. You probably wouldn't even have to bring that. Maybe a sleeping bag or a blanket. That's probably.
Well,
But
let
we,
me tell you, when I bring food, man, I bring it for everybody, man.
yeah.
I
Well,
load up. I make sure we're all, you
I
know.
usually do too. But when I go camping, I'll throw steak on the fire.
Let me ask you this. I just recently learned about this. There's this recipe called hobo packs, and that's where you take aluminum foil and you cut up potatoes. You can put steak in it. You can put shrimp in it, onions, peppers, uh, olive oil, chicken, and you just throw a bunch of stuff together. Put the olive oil on it, a little bit of seasoning, and you bunch it together and you throw them on the grill.
Well, campers been doing that for decades. Um,
Really?
yeah, and cowboys probably been doing it for centuries.
Yeah.
But well, they didn't use aluminum foil, but use aluminum foil, put some margarine in it or oil. But yeah,
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
put it all together and throw it in there. I mean, we
Yeah.
used to take corn and potatoes, whole potatoes, wrapped in aluminum foil, throw them right in the fire.
Right. Right. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try. I tried it once so far, but I'm gonna come up with like sausage and my own ideas for these hobo packs, and I'm just gonna Ziploc bag whatever I need, pack it in a cooler with cooler packs of ice, and take it on these trips. And it should be easy. I mean, you just take it out, you throw it on the grill, and there you go. You know.
Well,
Uh,
that originated when hobos traveling across the country on railroad tracks or whatever would just throw whatever food they could find together, put it in a pot, whatever it was, and just hobo potluck.
yeah, there you go. Do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
No.
Okay, I do. When I get bored, first thing I want to do is just pop my headphones on and listen to other podcasts, and because I learn a lot from other podcasts, and about stories. I just started hearing on a few podcasts about Bigfoot being able to heal. Have you
I've
heard
heard
anything
those.
about that?
I've heard those too. But
Yeah.
you hear a lot of things.
Hmm. Yeah, I listened to a couple cases where people were healed by them. People are doing gifting, feeding them, which some people think that's a bad idea, especially if you have them come onto your property.
Well, there are people that do it on their property. They put food out there or trinkets and believe that they have entire family living on their property and are basically squatting, if you know what I
Well,
mean.
yeah.
And they give stuff back and forth. Then you have other people, like there was this footage in Yoari State Park in North Carolina when I went down to do some gold prospecting.
Mhm.
Um, a man that was doing some Bigfoot research and had a campsite down there, and he put a candy bar on a fallen tree. And
Mhm.
he had his infrared camera up, and he had something come up, something big, grabbed the candy, and just disappeared. But he never stood up. He was just kneeling, but you could see that it got visible, took the candy, looked toward him, and disappeared.
Right. And I've also read uh, and listened to some stories about kids being abducted from campsites by Bigfoot, but the Bigfoot returns them um,
Well,
healed. And these are most of these kids have something wrong with them, and when they're returned,
well,
they're
remember,
completely healed.
remember just last year, a little boy, I think he was 6 years old or 4 years old. I can't remember his age. He had disappeared.
Casey.
Yeah, Casey, and he disappeared and they couldn't find him. When
Mhm.
they did find him, he was near somebody's home, and he said a bear saved him.
Exactly. I usually ask that on my
Yeah.
podcast. Yeah. I've asked that question to a few guests, and their answer was, "Yeah, I think it's possible for a bear to take care of a child." No, I don't. I'm
No,
sorry.
I don't think so. No.
I
Child,
think if a bear finds you,
your food.
you're you're your food. You're as good as a meal.
Yeah. But if
That's
you
what I
get
think.
but if you get something that's highly intelligent and it itself feels it is closer to you, um, as a human ape than it would a bear, it would be taking care of you as another one of its kind.
Hmm.
I can't remember the man's name. I should need to write this down or get a better memory. Back in, I think it was the 20s, there was this man who was kidnapped by a Bigfoot, taken to the cave and fed, and he was got into a little friendship with the younger
I
Bigfoot,
heard about that. Yeah.
the teenage Bigfoot,
Uh huh.
and he kept trying to leave, but the bigger Bigfoot wouldn't let him leave. So eventually, he found some way of distracting them and running away and leaving, and had the story to share.
Right. Let me ask you this: have you seen the movie? Oh God, please let me be able to tell you the name of it. Let me tell you a little bit about what it's about. It's about a brother that went into the woods. He needed to get away and be alone. He did some fishing, and I think he was abducted by a Bigfoot, and he was hurt a little bit, from being dragged and that sort of thing. He came up missing, and they were out looking for him. The sheriffs and deputies and search teams and all that stuff. Well, his brother went in the woods to look for him, and they had found his brother, but he didn't know this. And his brother was in the hospital. My screen just went. Okay, there we go. Um, he became friends with the Bigfoot. He had given the Bigfoot one of his fishing bells that you clip onto the string, and so he got hurt because he thought Bigfoot was chasing him and was going to hurt him. And I think he fell and injured his leg real bad, cut himself open. And then I think Bigfoot picked him up, carried him to the road, and an all terrain vehicle came down with a deputy in it, found him, and then took him to the hospital, and him and his brother reunited. Did you see that?
No, that I did not see.
Okay, I will. It's on Amazon. It's on Tubi. It's on Roku. I will look it up tonight, and I will send you the name of it. It's very interesting. I don't know if it was based on a true story, but very interesting to watch.
I did watch one recently that I picked up at Dollar Tree last year called Legend of Bigfoot.
Hmm.
It was exactly like the Blair Witch Project with the found footage thing, but it was Bigfoot.
Right.
It
Okay.
was hilarious and sad at the same time. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It was a young boy whose dad was killed by a Bigfoot when he was 6, and by the time he turned 18, he had a couple of his friends go out looking for it.
Right. So see, those are the type I like watching because there's low budget ones, man, where they're being, where Bigfoot reaches into the chest and pulls the heart out and starts eating it.
Yeah,
I can't stay like the one you told me to watch.
Willow Creek.
I forget. No, Willow
Will,
Creek was Bob
Bobcat,
Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait directed it. Yeah, Willow Creek.
Yeah, but it was a different one. You told me to watch it, and I had to sit through it like 10 times to complete it. I turned
Oh,
it off, turned it on, turned it off, turned it on. I'm like, I can't deal with this.
I'll tell you, there's that cartoon called Son of Bigfoot that I actually found at thrift store at the same time, which was pretty cool.
Right,
And recently they did Family of Bigfoot, which was the second part to it.
right. I've seen them. Yeah, I watch anything Bigfoot. I watch it, whether I think I'm going to like it or not. And if I get into it and I can't deal with it, I just have to turn it off and go back to it.
Yeah, me too. I have my stepdaughter or daughter is staying with us right now, and she loves watching campy movies with me. And we watched, I think it was Willow Creek or one of them like that, and we both just got a big kick out of it. You just have to because it's just the
Yeah,
acting is so bad and the story is so sad. They just want to do a horror movie and just let's throw Bigfoot in it because the Leprechaun's already been done.
yeah, exactly. You're right. Yeah, they are just so bad with some of them. They might as well just. I don't know if you've ever seen this guy. There's a guy that claims he has the head of a Bigfoot, and he keeps it frozen.
Well, that's been around for almost a decade now. It's a I think it's a gorilla skull, or no, not gorilla, some kind of ape, but it's not real. It's not. It's the same guy that had the gorilla costume with some meat inside of a freezer,
Hmm.
and I don't think it was. Oh no, it wasn't. Dang, what's his name? Oh no, I can't. Now here's one of my brain farts now. Oh, shoot. But yeah, anyway, that's been going around for a while.
Let me ask you this: do you think Patty, uh, Bluff Creek,
Yeah.
what's his name, Robert Gimlin, and Roger Patterson? Do you think that was a guy in a suit, or do you think that was real?
That was definitely not a costume. In 1967, they could not have done a costume like that. I mean, they would have had to have been expert at anatomy and biology. They would have had to have been expert videographer and a not videographer, but a special effects person. Period. To be
Yeah,
able to get the muscles to move underneath of the skin.
right,
I mean, they could do it now, but back then, no, no way, shape, or form.
right. The guy that claims he wore the suit lives down the street from Bob Gimlin,
Bob
and
Newhart, yeah, Bob. What's his name? Not
or Hieronymus.
Bob Hieronymus. Well, there's two Bob Hieronymuses.
Yeah, one's a talk show host. I was on there years ago. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a smaller guy. That's not the same guy.
right.
The other
But
guy is a guy. But either way, it couldn't have happened. It did not
yeah,
happen.
he lives down the street from Bob Gimlin, and they see each other from time to time, and they just look. They don't, they don't talk, and
I
because the
mean, if
guy
you see,
claims he was.
yeah, there was a picture of him or a video of him supposed to be holding the mask that they used,
Yeah, I
and
got
he
that photo. Yeah.
eyeliner all around his eyes, and it was no way, shape, or form like what we saw from a distance.
Right. Hey, I want to share something with you because I know you're a big collector in Bigfoot and stuff like that. When you have time, go on Marketplace and look into Bigfoot stuff. You would not believe the things I have been finding. I found an Andre the Giant Bigfoot in a box.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was from
brand new.
$6 Million Man.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. I
big,
found
big,
that, and I found a couple other things that I never even think existed. But yeah,
yeah.
Marketplace is a good
You
place.
can find you can find them on eBay too, which is a little bit more legit.
Right. Yeah. Let me write that down because I'm going to be doing some looking tonight. eBay. And my God, man, instead of me writing Bigfoot now, you know what I do? I write
What?
BF, and I know what it is. Yeah. Just like UFO is a small, UFO. So I write instead of writing
Call,
Bigfoot,
they, they don't call them UFOs anymore. They're not UFOs. They are.
Chinese balloons.
Oh no, I forget what. There's definitely something else they call them now, though. But it's just aerial something, aerial phenomenon.
Right. There you go. So I'm going to make this quick announcement because I want you to know this information as well. Write this on your calendar. June 7th, it's going to be a 3-hour show. I'm going to be doing a podcast about the old TV show Sightings. And so far, I have two guests. I have one of the producers, and the second one is I don't know if you're good at remembering names from the show, but the second one is Al Rober.
I remember Al Roper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was an EVP specialist and did a lot of the EVPs and traveled. He's traveled all over the world, and oh my God, I mean, he's been to Europe, and he's done quite a bit of work for sightings and unsolved mysteries and like 50 or 60 other TV shows. He's going to be my second guest. Now, the third one I'm working on, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull a rabbit out of a hat. I've contacted Henry Winkler, the Fonz. So if I can get him to be on there as the third guest, it's going to complete it, and I will be in my glory, man. So
Yep.
that's going to be June 7th. It's going to be 3 hours. Uh, I may have to pick a certain night, a certain time. Uh, but I know a lot of people are going to want to watch it live so they can ask questions. And I know the number one question is going to be why did Sightings not be put on DVD or
It's
VHS?
not. I thought I
No,
seen it on.
no, they only put a couple of the UFO sighting shows on VHS. 80 some episodes. There goes my computer again.
All right, I'll be right back. Go ahead, keep going.
Okay, 80 some of the episodes. I have in my collection. I'm missing like 3, 6, 9, I'm missing like 12 episodes, and I search for them every day. I'll find them someday to complete my collection. But I have them on a hard drive, and I watch them from time to time because I enjoyed and I learned a lot from the TV show Sightings. And one of the producers and Al Rober so far is going to be two of the guests for that show. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, so we're waiting for.
Sorry, my tortoise was getting ready to fall off the deck.
Uh, Let me just make a note real quick because I got to find out why when I look at your T-shirt it's backwards. There's got to
Well, it's
be.
like out of most TikTok videos I've seen.
Okay.
I don't know why or how myself. It's always kind of
Online
perplexed me.
videos are reversed. Fix it.
Anyway, since you
Mhm.
want to wrap up at 9:30,
Yep.
so I get a chance, I'm going to send these to you.
So thank you so much, man.
Just,
And
just get a chance. Just, I have those and some stickers I'm going to send you.
okay. Uh, let's see.
Yeah, see, so this right here is my paranormal slash Bigfoot pack.
Hmm.
It has regular cameras, not just phone cameras. This is a video camera, light shot camera, and regular digital cameras, which have better video and better pictures than most people don't even use these anymore. But you
Right.
get better pictures with these.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing, Mike. When it comes to squatching, paranormal, UFO gazing, a lot of people are into the new technology. Okay, me, I'm old school. There's a lot of things from from the old school days that I still use, and you
Yeah,
do the same.
yeah,
You know
me
why?
too.
Because they
Yeah,
work better.
yeah, because these are tapes. These aren't digital. I'm not going to. While I'm recording, the recording is recording on here. If I have digital and something happens to it, I lose everything. But it stays on here, stays on camera.
Here's another thing. Most of the older stuff can do things that our technology can't do today.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
probably could, but they didn't include it with the new
yeah,
technology. They
yeah,
like, hey, let's make it better. Don't need that anymore. You need whatever you need,
yeah,
whatever works.
yeah. On side notes at Fort Howard, I totally forgot all about this. But were you there when I climbed inside the morgue on one of those tables and stood inside and stayed there for a while? Remember that?
I don't
Or
remember that, but let me share this with you, and you can finish. Me and Andrew uh, was inside the morgue uh, together, and you know how he can get sometimes. He can, get to a point where he thinks he's funny with the
yeah,
ghost, which I like. I mean, I don't have nothing against it because it worked. He's like, uh, "Why don't you climb out of there and come and get me?" Well, that was during an EVP session. You know what the spirit said?
but
Haha, you're so funny.
yeah,
Yeah, no lie, man. I swear.
yeah.
Yes.
I got yeah. I mean, this is not paranormal related, but same place, Fort Howard. I climbed inside one of those dryers. No electricity or anything. I'm inside of it, upside down, my arms up and my head back, and got pictures. It was. I'm pretty sure if we did EVP, there'd be somebody on the other line saying, "No, that's not fun.
I got
That's
a
not."
picture of you down in the hole at Ramblewood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've still got that. Yeah.
Yeah, remember I went down there and there was no way there could have been a tunnel there. There's just no tunnel that was inside of that hole.
Really?
All four walls were uniform.
Yeah,
So
but do you think, I mean, after years had gone by, that could have been changed?
no, they were old brick. I could see the ceiling was originally some kind of metal plate, then it was wire, then it was cement and stones, and all the sides were brick and cement, all four sides.
So do you think that could have been just a hiding area?
Just the hiding. That's all it was. Yeah.
Yeah, for the slaves, and because there were cornfields in the parking area.
Yeah.
That's
I
what that
mean,
was.
if I'm just saying, if there was a tunnel there, if the tunnel's there, even if it was sealed up, the way toward the river was actually underneath the fireplace. If you dug a tunnel under the fireplace by now would have showed some sign of falling apart or breaking or loosening.
I was there by myself one night after a group left. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I heard the loudest, scariest scream, moaning, and uh, my nephew had went to the store, and he was just getting back after it stopped, and I let him listen to what I recorded, and he said, "I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm going in the house." So I went in the house with him, And I said, listen to it again. Tell me, I need your opinion on what you think it was. He said, who knows? Maybe a UFO landed and was probing a cow. Because we did hear a cow, going,
Yeah.
and then it turned into horrific, man. Like it was being mauled, tortured. That could have been a Bigfoot.
It could have. It's
Yeah.
not impossible. We were we were talking about Burkittsville earlier.
Uh-huh.
We actually, like I said, my group, Free State Paranormal, was the only group that was able to do an investigation inside the store. We were
Uh-huh.
also able to go to a uh, cemetery or graveyard there that's on private property, and the property owners let us go up there. And the story was that on two of the corners they had giant boulders put there because they
Uh-huh.
buried Confederate soldiers there, and they were waiting for the family to come back up from the south to come and get them. Legend has it they never came back. One night we were there, and the people that own the property have hogs. To the left of us, actually, it's a property next door, but it was close to it, maybe 15, 25 feet away. And
Uh-huh.
we heard a hog. I know what a hog sounds like. And this thing was squealing like it was being run over by a truck. This thing
Okay.
was really mad. I mean, it was loud.
Could have been a
And
Bigfoot.
I was thinking the same thing because this
Yeah.
thing was really loud.
Right. I've had,
I mean,
you
there are
know,
more stories of Bigfoot being taking pigs and hogs than cows. All these cow mutilations, nobody's ever witnessed a Bigfoot around them. So they
right.
love pork. They're not
Yeah,
Jewish.
that's usually UFO or
Yeah, but the
help me
hogs
out
are not.
here.
Yeah,
What is that thing called? Chupacabra.
yeah. Mexico.
Right. All right, 1 second. I got something popping up here. I need to. All right, won't go away. Wow.
It's 9:40, right?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get ahead and let me just flip on this so I can get ready to. Oh wow. I have to get rid of this, or I can't. There, I got it. Rid of it. How about that? Okay. So, Mike, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being my guest tonight, and I enjoyed talking with you. Uh,
Well, it'd be
you
nice
know,
if we could. It would have been nice to see what viewers we may or may not have had.
that's all going to be straightened out. You
I
know,
mean,
I
notifications on the right where somebody said something was self-inflicted wounds, like
mhm.
when my leg got bit, like I did that.
Oh,
That
okay, yeah. I
self,
was like, what does that mean? Self-inflicted injury.
yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. That is just hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, the
Send it
odd,
to me. Send it to
yeah,
me. Okay, I'm not sure what that was, but let me just say this: I'm going to get that straightened out. There's a number of things that I'm working on that I'm not impressed because I'm unable to do certain things. Like if I wanted to play a soundbite of an MP3 EVP, I can't unless I hold the recorder up to my microphone.
yeah. Well, you could do that.
Restream, no, Restream doesn't support it. The only thing I can
YouTube,
play is an MP4.
yeah, YouTube does though.
That's another thing that's written down in my book. I'm going to try my YouTube channel and go live one night or one Saturday morning, and I might do a pre-recorded thing with you and see how that works.
Yeah.
Because when I watch hi Bill, when I watch the Bill Bean show, you can see down at the bottom who's asking the question, their full name, everything.
Yeah. Well, to the right, I see three people from Facebook with comments, but that's all I see. No names, no nothing.
You're seeing their name too?
No name, yeah. I see one that says send it to me in something. Another says self-inflicted injury. And the third one says thank you for sharing. I don't know who that was, but
Right,
you're welcome if you're still there.
right. That's not right for Facebook to do that, to block the user's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's insane. But there's a lot of things I have written down that I'm working on. It just takes time. Um, Once I get them resolved, then that issue will be gone. When I first started, I had a number of things that I was puzzled about, and I now mastered it. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get to the bottom of it and straighten all that out. So yeah. So again, Mike, thank you. Uh, Let me just get this up here so I can use this when I. Oh, Mike, one more thing before we go. I just found what I was looking for earlier. Tell me what you think about this.
A tourist claims to have captured video evidence of Bigfoot in North Carolina, but his small but fearless pet dog scared the beast away. WBTV reported that Eric Walters of Boone was visiting the Asheville area Thursday morning when he claims to have spotted Sasquatch in Henderson County. Walters said he was walking his Yorkshire Terrier named Zippy when he stumbled upon the mythical creature. He said he originally thought it was a bear, so he started filming with his phone. Zippy immediately sprang into action, allegedly chasing Bigfoot away. I quickly realized it was not a bear, but a Sasquatch, Walters said. Zippy could tell I was scared and got so riled up that he got loose and went after it. Walters said Zippy saved him from a possible encounter, and that.
What do you think of that?
Yeah, I've seen this a few times. I've seen clearer video of it too. It's I can't say it's man. I can't say it's man.
I disagree. You
Facts.
want okay, unless that was a setup. If
Yeah,
that was
that's
something
what-
that was being staged, because I'll tell you why. When the dog went running after it, it ran off. If it was a
Yeah.
man, that man would have stood still and probably said, "Man, what's wrong with your dog?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's one of two things. It was either staged or that was
Staged or
real.
real. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's what
agree. That's
think.
what I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Mike.
All right, Dave.
Yes, like I said, man, I had a great time, talking with you, and we'll talk more about the the Pine Barrens, and I'll give you a call, and you let me know when you're available, and we'll discuss it by phone. So, again, happy birthday, Peppy, and tell her Shar and I say hi, and
She really appreciate the card. People don't just do that anymore.
I'm old school, man. I told you that in the beginning. That's just who I am and how I am. So, um, yeah, it was great talking with you. And
One thing before you go, let me show you something.
uh-huh.
All right, this is. I told you I had drones, right? This is one of them. I have
Wow.
two just like this. These are made specifically for videography. When it
Uh-huh.
came out, it was $1,000. It was built around a what is it? The camera, the oh damn brain fart. The GoPro, and that's what this
GoPro.
was actually built for.
Right. Well, you know what? I've been considering getting a nice drone, and I'll have you and I'll have John Bowman to show me how to use it.
Yeah, these when they first came out were made specifically for videography.
But you know what? I hope I don't put it up in the air and forget and walk in the house.
No,
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah.
yeah, no, you
So
will keep your eye on these. Trust me.
I know.
I had one of these fly away, and I haven't. I've been afraid to put them up since. But I have smaller ones too.
Right. Okay. All
All
right,
right,
Mike. Listen, I want to have you on again. So, uh, yeah. Wow.
let's go
So
on.
write some notes down in a book that things you would like to talk about, and you know, we'll do it.
All right, we will see you later.
Is that squishy?
This is Bigfoot. Peppy got this
Bigfoot.
one for me too.
Okay.
She she gets me crap all the time. It's not even my birthday.
It's not crap. There's such thing as crap about Bigfoot, man, unless he craps. So,
All
all right,
right,
Mike. You have a good night, and I'm gonna get out of here and take care of some other stuff.
all right,
And I'll be in touch with you soon.
okay, later.
All right, everybody. Say good night to Mike, and good night, everybody. And we'll see you soon.